Hello and welcome to our podcast series Little Steps, Loud Thoughts. I'm your host Saloni Srivastava. I'm the Chief Learning Officer at Little Millennium Balewadi. At Little Millennium, we are not just prepping kids for school. We are raising thoughtful little citizens of the world. And a big part of that is teaching them how to love and protect our planet. So how do we make big words like sustainability click for a 4-year-old? Our special guest today knows exactly how. With 18 plus years in environmental science and sustainability, he's helped major organizations tackle green strategy and climate action. He's Assistant General Manager of Environment, Health, Safety and Sustainability at Vulcan Technologies. And today he's swapping the boardroom for the classroom. Mr. Gupta is also a proud parent of our student Lakshesha. And he's here today to help us understand how we can raise the next generation of eco-conscious kids. Please welcome to the show Mr. Kalpesh Gupta.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Gupta, thank you so much for being with us today.
My pleasure, my pleasure. So, I'm Kalpesh Gupta. Usually, everyone asks me what I do. And my standard answer is I work for the environment. But today, I just want to twist a bit. Like, I want to say that I work for the future. How? That we'll know in a little while. Whenever we are saving a tree, saving a drop of water, or we are educating our children, we are investing in future. And that's what I am here and I am delighted. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for those words, Mr. Gupta. So quickly moving on to our questions. We have a varied audience. We have parents, educators, children. So my questions some of them will pertain to parents, some will pertain to children. So my first question to you is for parents and educators, if you could help us understand. We want to raise eco-conscious children, but big words like climate change, global warming, these can sound very scary to a preschool child, 4 and 5-year-old. So how can school and parents introduce these concepts in a positive and empowering way, the way children would understand?
Okay, so to put things into perspective, do children really want to understand what is climate change or global warming? In the first place, ideally no. We should never teach children to fear environment. But on the other hand, what we can do is we can ask them to care and love for the nature.
Right.
There is a scientist, world leading climate scientist, Dr. James. He had mentioned that human activities are the sole primary source of contamination. Industrial revolution, as you might be aware,
Right.
has increased the temperature, average temperature of Earth by 1.2 degrees Celsius. When I say this, the children will get scared, like what he's saying.
Right.
So what, to make them understand, what I can say, it's a hot summer day outside and you have taken a thick blanket. So what will happen to you after some time?
Right.
Like you will feel uncomfortable. So think of that like this blanket is nothing but a pollution covering our earth. And this pollution is nothing but a gases known as greenhouse gases.
Okay.
So these gases traps the re-radiating heat from the earth and that's why the temperature of the earth is changing, rising. And that is known as global warming.
Right.
And that is resulting into climate change. To make things more clear, can this be stopped? What are your thoughts? Can we reduce global warming?
Sure, we can when all of us work together.
And like, what are the preventive measures for that? Something like that?
The biggest, I think, is planting more trees, making the earth greener. That would be something very easy to do also.
So you are on the right track. Like, if we plant more trees, we switch off lights at homes, we reduce waste. What we are doing? We are earning green points for planet Earth. So what we can ask our children is like, plant more trees, save every drop of water wherever possible, switch off the lights when not in use, and these little activities help them to get green points for planet Earth. And in this way, what we are teaching to children is not a concept of climate change or global warming, but we are teaching them kindness towards nature. So ultimately, when they grow, they will definitely take care of it. So I guess in this way, we can explain them what is climate change and global warming.
That was really a thoughtful explanation, and I love the point of green points, because children really love, something. You give them a star and they get very happy. So if you tell them you're planting a tree, you've earned one green point. That would really work
Really,
wonders with
yes.
children. Thank you so much for that explanation. So my next question, something similar only. Preschoolers love water play, which often leads to running taps. What are some fun visual boundaries for games that parents can use to teach them, water conservation? Because children love to play with water. So how do we tell them that, okay, this much is enough, or games designed around saving or conserving water?
So to directly answer that question, what I'll do, like, I will just give you the technical points, like how we can save water.
Hmm.
There are many low flow water fixtures in the market.
Okay.
There are sensor based taps that can be installed. Then there are some water irrigation systems that are used for agriculture purpose. But trust me, when I say these things to a 3 year or 4 year old child, they will say like, what are you talking about? Like, seriously, are we going to understand this?
Yeah.
So when we say children and water,
Hmm.
they are integral part of one another.
Exactly.
You cannot separate them. Why?
Correct.
Because water brings joy,
Yes.
and you cannot take away that joy from the children.
Right.
And you just can't say stop using water.
Hmm.
See, water is a very precious thing.
Absolutely.
Every drop of water has traveled a long journey through rivers, through evaporation, clouds, rainfall, through treatment plant, and then finally it reaches our home. And when we say children, when we ask our children not to play with water, the first thing they do is they have a sarcastic look at us, or they get angry, or they get upset for that matter. And but obviously it's like that only. So what we can do is, like you rightly said, in school when you give star, they enjoy the green points and
Yes.
everything. So similarly, can we have some water hero challenges for little children,
Right.
wherein instead of taking a shower in the bathroom, we can just fill a bucket of water
Hmm.
and ask them to make sure that you're completing your bathing in this bucket of water, and you will get one more point.
Correct. Yes.
Second thing, before bathing, brushing.
Hmm.
You have seen even adults, they just tap on the water and the water is continuously flowing.
Right.
You have also seen many ads on the national TVs, save water, conserve water. But what we can do for our small children, like can have a sand timer of 1 minute, 2 minutes, and we can ask them before the sand reaches the bottom, you have to finish your brush.
Right.
So they are competing with that thing.
Right.
So they are enjoying with the water activities also,
Right.
and they are not also feeling restricted.
Right.
So these are few of the activities which can be done. See, we cannot teach 4 years or 5 years, or for that matter, my daughter is 2.5 years. I cannot ask her to save water. There is water scarcity.
Yeah.
No, I cannot ask her. Saving water is not about using less water. It is about using water when it is actually required.
Right.
So once these become habit, definitely there will be water conservation at home itself.
That's a great answer. Very practical solutions. Definitely children, not just children, adults. We also love to play with water.
Yes.
If on Holi, when people say that, oh, let's not use water, even adults get upset. So yes, very practical ways, and not just children, even we need to learn.
Yeah.
So thank you for that answer. Moving on to my next question. How can parents practically involve a preschooler in daily home waste segregation, like dry waste and wet waste? Now, even societies have these rules, like, you have to have dry waste separate, wet waste separate. So how to make a preschooler understand this? What is wet waste? What is dry waste? And how to involve them in that segregation?
See, for me, like if you say waste, the dictionary definition might be something else, but we need to change our perception. Waste can be seen as a resource also.
Okay.
And the best example which I usually like to give is of a sugar industry, where the waste like molasses, bagasse are again recycled. Bagasse is used for steam generation, or molasses for that matter is used for bioethanol production.
Right.
Ethanol, everybody
Yes.
is aware about nowadays because it's a hot topic.
Yes.
E20 and everything. So similarly, what we can do for children is like, rather than asking to separate, and I'll just ask my daughter, just go throw it in the dustbin. So it's of no use. She will just collect everything, whatever she finds is useless for her, she will just go and throw it in the dustbin. But nowadays, even Little Millennium has started that activity. I have seen in one of the videos, like you keep different colors of beans.
Yes.
Green beans, blue beans, red beans. And at home also what we can do is like, we can ask them, like, for that matter, where to throw the banana peel, whether it is degradable, non-biodegradable. They may not understand the concept of degradable, biodegradable, but they will understand, yeah, banana peels is a food waste.
Yes.
Where the plastic needs to go, where the newspaper needs to go.
Right.
And what we call is like, when we celebrate this, again we have a point system, champion of the week.
Nice.
So in a family of 4, we can always say, see, I have the champion for the week because I have disposed my waste properly. It's really nice when my daughter shouts, Papa, Papa, Papa. So it's like I have thrown something in wrong bin.
Okay.
And you're planning that from that age where that things will get engrossed in their mind.
Right.
And that is what we want for the next generation.
Absolutely. So we can keep these color-coded bins at home.
Yeah.
And champion of the week is really great. Children love a good competition.
Yeah,
And they love to be winners.
Yes,
so they
yes.
really strive to get that star, that title or whatever. They really work towards it.
They like all the superheroes for that matter. Chota Bheem is one of the character which I just remember right now. Yeah, but that can be integrated in some sort of rating system, and that can help them to understand what is dry waste, what is waste, everything, all these things.
As kids, I remember we used to have a cartoon network. There was this cartoon called Captain Planet on that. And we were really excited to watch that. And Captain Planet used to save the planet. So as kids, we used to get really inspired looking at that, okay, we have to, save the planet. We have to save the earth. So yeah, you rightly said superheroes are a big inspiration for children, and we can use them to set correct examples. So yes, thank you so much for those practical, advice. So to my next question, single-use plastic is everywhere, especially in kids' packaging. What are the easiest swaps a busy family can make today to drastically cut down plastic waste? Because everything comes in plastic, wraps, plastic boxes, everywhere there's plastic.
So it's like a plastic age, what we often call it. It's a plastic age, and it has replaced almost everything. So we cannot expect changes overnight. But yeah, there are few things that we can do on a day-to-day basis. What normally we call is like small habits. So there are these small habits where you can replace your day-to-day plastic with something else. We normally call it rule of 3.
Okay.
So when we say small habits, it's like small habit changes on day-to-day basis, rather than doing one big change once in a year. The impact is not that much of significance. But rule of 3, like you said, there are plastic bottles. We can replace it with steel bottles. There are plastic boxes. We can replace it with steel boxes. And then there are plastic, all the cutleries and everything that can be replaced with stainless steel material, or for that matter wooden material and everything. Here also, because we are explaining to children, so they will not understand what rule of 3 is, but they will understand that we are replacing plastic with something. So we can ask our children to carry their own cloth bag while going for shopping.
Right.
And we can call that bag earth bag. This is your earth bag. And you have to make sure that whatever you are purchasing should come into this bag. You remember, we are redefining these things. When we were kids, we used to carry our own thing to collect oil and everything. The newspaper used to get wrapped. The food grains were in the newspaper. So we are again revolving back in a sense. And that was our sustainable way. What is sustainability? If I want to say, I just said sustainability. Sustainability is nothing but we are borrowing from the future.
Okay.
When you are saying waste, you ask me 2-3 questions like water, waste, and now plastic, regarding plastic and waste segregation. there is one concept which I want to categorically say, inform to children, like it is known as Earth Overshoot Day. You are aware about Earth Overshoot Day?
No.
Like to explain it in a more simpler terms is like you have a piggy bank and you have 10 rupees in that piggy bank for one day.
Okay.
So 365 days into 10 rupees. So you have to ensure that you are spending that 10 rupees once in a day.
Right.
And you have to utilize that piggy bank for the entire
Year.
But what we do? We want ice cream, we want chocolates, we want toys.
We overspend.
Exactly. And what happens? That money gets over in a day. So every year there is a Earth Overshoot Day that is calculated, that for a population that is currently on the Earth, the overshoot day for current 2026 is 30th July, if I am not wrong, 30 or 31st July. So whatever resources we need to utilize till 31st December are getting over by 30th July.
Oh my
and
God.
Earth is not capable of reproducing it in a shorter span.
So that is almost 5 months of deficit.
Yeah, every year it is reducing. So we require 1.8 times of Earth right now. Is it possible?
My goodness.
So this is the Earth Overshoot Day where we are consuming more. And that's why this topic of sustainability, sustainable development goals, why climate change is happening, all these things are taking place. So one thing which everyone needs to know is about the Earth Overshoot Day. Do explore it and definitely learn about it.
That was a completely new term and concept for me, and a little scary, I must admit, when I think that 5 months of deficit in terms of resources, it is something that everybody should be aware of. Thank you so much for telling me that. We'll definitely read up more on that.
Yeah, for sure. Yes.
Okay, and now I want to move on to the second part or second segment of my questions, which is more towards dedicated to children. So my first question. So if a child were to ask, where does the water go after the rains? So they all see it's raining, it's falling down. Where is it going? Why do we have water shortage when it's so much rain happening? Where is all the water going?
Quite an interesting question. So rainwater goes on an amazing journey. Before answering that question, do you know the amount of rainwater, fresh water which is available on the earth is just 2.5%. And out of that also very less, that is like close to 1%, or to be precise 0.007% is available for our use.
My God.
And the fun fact is, this amount of water from billions of years has remained constant.
Really?
It has not changed at all.
My God.
So the amount of water has remained same. And when I say that rainwater goes on an amazing journey, that journey is called as water cycle. So I guess in the 16th century there was some French scientist, Bernard Palissy or something. So he first introduced that rainwater goes through a cyclic revolution through evaporation, cloud, rainfall, and again everything goes. So just imagine that for millions of years this cycle is continued and the amount of water
is still the same. The population has increased.
And we have also ensured that whatever activities we are carrying out, we are affecting that balance. So coming back to your question, when you say rainwater, so what happens when there is a rainfall? Few of the droplets directly go to river, ocean, lakes. Few are absorbed by the soil. The ones that get absorbed in the soil gets collected in the aquifer, and that is called as groundwater. And from there we extract it for our use of our farming purpose and everything. Third thing, few of the water droplets are also absorbed by the tree roots. Tree roots absorb those water, they perform their regular activities like photosynthesis and other stuff, and they emit some water vapor. So that is known as transpiration. So all this process happens, and the water which goes to rivers and lakes gets evaporated. So evaporation, transpiration, everything results in the formation of cloud. And when this cloud becomes heavy, it precipitates. That precipitation is nothing but rainfall. And this is the rainfall journey, rainfall cycle, which has been followed for millions of years.
Right. Can I ask an offshoot of this question?
Yeah, for sure. I'll try to answer it.
You said that the fresh water has remained constant for billions of years. Is there what can we do to increase that fresh water? Can it be done? Can the resource of fresh water be increased?
I cannot answer it in a direct way, but I can correlate it with your first question, climate change.
Right.
So when I say 2.5% of water is fresh water, and out of that only 0.007 is for consumption, the rest is the glaciers. And what is happening to glaciers?
They are melting alarmingly fast.
We are increasing the water intake, but at what cost? We are affecting something else.
Right, right.
So the best way to ensure that whatever is there, see, the changes will not happen overnight.
Right.
When you are accepting fossil fuels, it's years on years, thousands of years of things that is taking place by the nature cycle itself. So yes, what at our scope of work of where we are working right now, we can definitely help it to reduce the climate change and global warming.
Right. Okay.
I hope this sounds more clear to you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for that insight. Moving on to my next question. How does nature clean it up so that birds and animals can drink it, the water? So how do birds and animals drink the water? How does nature clean up the water for them?
Okay, nature cleaning, good. What to do to filter water at your home?
The water filters like AquaGuard and RO water purifier and things like that.
Great, and they work on what? Electricity.
Yeah.
So nature has its own filtration cycle, but that works without electricity.
Actually, how does that work?
So, like I said, the rainwater cycle. So when water flows through soil, rocks, and all those beds, so all the what we call suspended particles, they get trapped. So these are like filtration unit. So water get filtered through that.
Okay.
Apart from that, there are microbes in the soil. So they degrade this waste that is ever present in the water, and they improve the quality of water. Third and most important thing, this is another concept like Earth Overshoot Day or for climate change, something like that. You know what is known as nature's kidney?
No.
You must be aware about what our kidney does.
Yes.
Like it's clean blood for the body.
Yeah.
So how does nature cleans this water for birds and animals, and for that matter for humans also? Because if you go on a trekking on a higher side and you drink that natural water, it's quite good. The quality, the mineral content, everything is good. So what are those nature's kidney? All the trees, forest land, wetlands, these are all nature's kidney.
Okay.
So what they do, trees with their roots, they absorb water, they have their own process, they release water through their tiny leaves. That water vapors goes to form clouds and everything. So nature's kidneys are nothing but forests and wetlands, and that is why everybody is saying in the world, don't cut trees, don't go for deforestation.
Even mangroves for that.
Yeah, mangroves for that matter. If you say mangroves are negatively geotrophic, like the roots are growing above ground.
Yes.
They are not growing in the ground. So for that matter, so they are really very important. Nature has established and ensured its cycle in such a way that everything is in place. There is a concept known as law of conservation of energy. That energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but can be converted from one form to another. Similarly, everything what nature handles, or for that matter planet Earth handles, it has established its own equation and equilibrium. We are just interfering with it as a species of Homo sapiens. We are highly intellectual and we think that nothing is beyond us.
Right. We are interfering with nature's laws quite a lot. And I think definitely all of us are seeing the effects of it, but in spite of seeing, still very much unaware and not conscious enough to make that change happen. I hope with so much information out there now, we start to see that and start working towards it, from obviously our children to even adults. So thank you for that explanation. And now my next question. If a plastic wrapper or toy accidentally gets into a river or ocean, what happens to the fishes? Does it give them a tummy ache?
Yeah, for sure. No doubt about that. And when we say plastic pollution or something like that, so there is a thing known as Great Specific Garbage Patch, discovered by Captain Charles Moore, something 1997. And to explain you what this Great Pacific Garbage Patch is like, it consists of all the plastic pollution and everything. If my audience is something they know about US, the Texas city is twice the size of Texas city.
Oh my God.
And for India, this is not a relevant comparison, but just for the understanding purpose, if we consider India as an entire nation, one map, half of India is covered with that plastic pollution. That is what Great Specific Garbage Patch is.
That's a big patch.
Huge. And he made sure that we need to understand what this plastic pollution is and how we need to tackle it. And then there are many NGOs who are currently working on it. Now, once you know on what scale this plastic pollution is, we were speaking about fish.
Yeah.
So fish cannot distinguish between a food or a tiny plastic particle. Whatever it sees, a colorful plastic or something, it thinks that it's food. It just engulfs it. The food he thinks that he has eaten something good, but that plastic does not have any nutritious value, and he always feels full because that plastic does not degrade. The single-use plastic which government of India is banning, or we are saying ban, it takes almost more than 20 to 30 years to degrade.
My God.
Or a plastic cup where you are drinking a cup of coffee, it takes almost 30 to 40 years for the degradation purpose.
My goodness.
So what happens? Fish, after consuming this plastic, they are always full. They don't eat food. They don't get any nutrition.
Right.
They starve and ultimately they die. Apart from that, the plastic, there are fishing nets, plastic garbage, everything. They trap turtles, dolphins, marine life. That makes them uneasy to breathe or to swim in water. So that is affecting the flora, what you say, underwater.
Life, yeah, life below
Flora and fauna below the ocean. It is affecting them. Coral reefs for that matter. I was referring to the coral reefs. And this plastic pollution is resulting into a concept, another concept which we learn in 7th or 8th standard, like bioaccumulation and biomagnification. So what is bioaccumulation? Imagine there are 100 fish with 1 milligram of plastic toxin, because what happens, plastic does not degrade, but it gets converted into microplastic, the smaller version of the plastic, and small fish feeds upon it. Small fishes are eaten by big fish. Big fish by whale. Ultimately, it goes into the food chain.
Yes.
100 small fish eaten by a big fish. The big fish has 100 milligram of toxin. Right. So bioaccumulation occurs at the bottom root of food chain, and biomagnification occurs vertically. Okay. So when we are someone is consuming non-veg, fish or something like that, so that toxin in concentrated form is directly going into your body, and that is affecting the health. So this is a concept of biomagnification and bioaccumulation.
Even humans have a lot of microplastic in their bodies.
So you must have read the article that they had dissected one cow or somewhere, and there were 20 kgs of plastic and something like that. So those news are quite common nowadays.
Right. So the only way to manage to curb this is by managing to curb the use of plastic.
And to ensure that you are disposing it in a proper way. You just can't throw anywhere your plastic wrappers and everything.
Yes.
You need to ensure that they are going to
proper. Even if we are disposing it properly in the homes, where they are going and disposing it is also a question, like the landfills and everything. So that is also, the system has to be sort of ready for it. As an individual, we can definitely be more conscious, but is the system being that conscious is also something that needs to be looked into.
So when you talk about system, it should be the habit, not the rules. Because what system does, they implement rule, but they are not changing habits.
But it's all a big, I mean, we will, I think, go on a tangent if we get into this discussion. Because
it's a huge, there is a Pandora box of information. Which
then we will start discussing the system and the government and the pros and cons.
Let us restrict to the audience of Little Millennium. And I guess they will start working on this.
Yes. So coming back to our topic and moving on to my next question. How do trees help us breathe? Do they really clean the air for us like a vacuum cleaner? So that is a child's question to you.
Wow, vacuum cleaner. Trees are known as oxygen factories
Right.
of Earth, and I guess it was in, I don't know the exact year. Jan Ingen, who's something scientist named 1779 or 1780, something like that.
Okay.
So he first demonstrated that plant produce food in the presence of sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide, and that process, what I told, is known as photosynthesis. So I know the equation like 6CO2 plus 6H2O gives glucose, C6H12O6 plus oxygen.
Right.
And when we say that they are vacuum cleaners, so actually they are. And they also don't use electricity for that matter.
Yeah.
They are
We
doing
should
it
learn
without
something from
electricity.
nature.
That we need to understand and learn from nature. So when we say it's a vacuum cleaner, what they do is like, I will give you two examples of those things. First is like they absorb all the carbon dioxide which we breathe out, animals and everything. And with that carbon dioxide in presence of sunlight and the chlorophyll that is present on the leaves, they prepare their own food, glucose, and they emit CO2, oxygen, which is breathed by us. And second thing is like you are walking on a road where there are no trees, and you are walking on a parallel road there where there are trees. Which is more comfortable and why?
Definitely the one that has the trees. It is cooler, it provides shade also, it feels more fresh. The air that you're breathing also feels more fresh.
Why?
I guess because of the oxygen that it is.
Oxygen, like, yeah, oxygen is for breathing, but for reducing temperature, like we already discussed, transpiration. So what trees do two major activities. What they do is like their leaves emits water vapor. That's why the temperature when you're passing through the tree region is much cooler as compared to the area which does not have any trees. Apart from that, they also improve the quality of air because they absorb tiny dust particles from the air.
Okay, that is why it feels fresher.
Yeah, it feels fresh. The temperature is lesser, and trees are doing it for thousands of years. What we as a human being needs to ensure is please don't cut them down. They are not asking you any single day holiday. As a human, we want Saturday, Sunday off. We want a lazy Sunday. They are not asking us anything. They are doing their.
They are just tirelessly working.
Yeah, diligently and diligently doing their work.
Right.
And if I'm not wrong, I guess why tulsi is planted in our house. I guess that is the only tree which gives 24 hours oxygen.
Yes. It has been linked to medicinal and then spiritual purposes because that's how people used to give importance, I think.
So, if you ask me personally, people in the ancient time were quite clever. They linked most of the things with tradition and your cultures and everything.
Yeah, religion, so that people would follow.
Follow it, yeah.
Yes. Great.
So, yeah, trees are Earth's natural oxygen factories.
Great. So children have their answer, trees are vacuum cleaners.
Yes.
We should try and use that kind of technology at home. Imagine no need for electricity and vacuum cleaners are working without that. That would be great.
Yeah, it sounds interesting, but we do have our own constraints.
Of course. All right, moving on to my next question. What happens to our old toys and plastic boxes when we throw them away? Do they stay in the trash forever?
Yes, if disposed of improperly. Like the waste which you are generating at home, only food waste gets converted into a good manure within a week or a month's time. But plastic, as I inform you, they break down into microplastic. And I already mentioned you, like the degrading age of plastic, depending on what type of plastic it is like from 20 years to 500 years. They remain in the environment.
So, like an offshoot again of this question, how is plastic recycled? Like, how, if we segregate it properly and plastic is recycled, so will that help reduce plastic waste?
Up to some extent, yes. And here comes the principle of 3R, 4R, 6Rs. So there are like everyone must have watched that RRR film. This is something different, and these R's are like different. So what we call is a concept of 4R, like we reduce, reuse, recycle, and repair. But before going to these 4 R's, there are two more R. rethink, do we really need plastic?
Right.
Or refuse, no, I don't want to buy it.
Right.
I'll carry my own stuff and everything. And you rightly mentioned somewhere, you categorically said something related to system. We don't want to get into that. But at individual level, we can definitely reuse, reduce, or repair.
But there is one, like, we can reduce plastic bags or bottles or tiffins or cutlery, but there are certain things like toys. I mean, they will be plastic only. How do we reduce or reuse that? I mean, there was a time where there were wooden toys, but not anymore. It is so much into the market that all toys are plastic. So what do we do about that?
We can repair it, we can reuse it, we can donate it to some orphanage or something like that. That is the only thing for the reason. Because for few of the plastic, the recycling cost is also on the higher side. And when we say higher side, economic feasibility also needs to taken into consideration.
Of course.
See, environment is of prime most important. If you compare environment, everything else falls secondary.
Right.
And at our level, what we can do, rule of three, ultimately will help us someday to eliminate all the plastic in our house.
Right. Right.
So this way we can help nature.
Great. Okay. Thank you for that answer. And now, can you tell us the magic trick of how banana peels and veggie scraps turn into yummy food compost for plants?
Magic trick. I like that word, magic trick. It's a magic.
That's what children, for them, it's magic only. Like, okay, this was a banana peel. How come it's turned into some, food for plants? How does that happen?
So, Sir Edward Howard is the father of modern composting. Howard something, Sir Howard. And he demonstrated how a kitchen food waste turns into a compost that is improving the quality of soil. And we cannot explain this to children.
Yeah.
So, imagine there are millions of shapes beneath the ground in the soil.
Millions of shapes.
Chef, the one who prepare food, chefs.
Okay.
And those shapes are millions in numbers, like bacteria, fungi, for that matter. And apart from that, there are earthworms also.
Right.
So what these shapes does is, whenever we throw banana peel, fruit skin, vegetable scrap, dry leaves, whenever we throw that into the soil, these shapes starts acting on them. They start eating them. And what they do is, like, they convert all this waste into a compost, which is soft, dark, and nutritious. And when I say nutritious, is like it has nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, which is used by the plants to grow, become taller, greener, and healthier. So that is a magic trick which basically I have also done my microbiology. So I always say, whenever there is a reference of microbes is nothing but life beyond vision. We cannot see them, but they are everywhere. It's omnipresent.
Omnipresent. Yes.
And those are like invisible soldiers of nature who are acting on all the waste. So in nature, nothing is waste. Everything is a resource. So today's banana peel can become tomorrow's beautiful flower.
Right. Yes. That is the magic. It's not so much the trick. It's the magic organisms, I think.
Yeah.
Those are in the soil that
they are working day and night.
Right.
And trust me, everybody is working 24/7, 365 days a week, a year.
Yes. Thank you so much for those enlightening answers. I mean, we could go on and on because obviously environment is such a big, huge topic. But those are the questions I had for you today, and you have really enlightened us with all your answers. And hopefully, we will be able to, teach our children also to understand these concepts in a better manner. So thank you for that. Thank you so much once again. And it has been wonderful and eye-opening. There were so many terms that I wasn't aware of, which you taught us. And it has been a pleasure talking to you.
It's my pleasure, actually. Thank you for inviting me. And just to summarize everything, for our children, like when we say, we should not teach our children what is environment, climate change, or everything. We should teach them kindness or love towards tree before they know the scientific name of the tree.
Right.
Or we should inform them to save water before they are introduced to the concept like scarcity of water.
Right.
What this will do is, like, this will not educate our children. This will make them responsible human beings.
Right.
And that is what I guess Little Millennium is playing a crucial role,
Thank you so
because
much.
you have incorporated concept like sustainable development goals.
Said that at Little Millennium we are doing the concepts of sustainable development goals we've introduced to the children. So our humble initiative has been that we have helped the children. Each child has planted a tree in our Mahalunge center, and that tree has been given the child's name. It is planted in our Mahalunge center campus.
Great.
And we hope to do much more of this, and this way practically we can teach the children what these sustainable goals are.
So you are already creating green champions of the earth.
We are doing our best.
Great, great. So you are working on that front, and I am really excited to attend this podcast and everything. Thank you for inviting me.
And the concept of teaching children love and kindness, I think that is all that they already have so much of love in abundance that is not something that's going to be difficult to teach them. And love and kindness towards everything, nature, environment, organisms, that is all that we need to do.
To another human being, for that matter.
Human being.
And this way we can just ensure that everything goes hand in hand.
Right.
And we become integral part of the nature.
So thank you for being our first guest on our first ever podcast.
Oh, is it so?
Really grateful to you, and thank you for taking the time.
Thank you.